Hi guys, here I am at my desk working on my laptop doing the videos and the various updates. So this is the actual desk in my hotel room. Today was day 8th, 9th of October 2015, and obviously the game's starting to wind down, and we're getting to the tail end of it. Some of the players, the athletics people have headed home. Tennis, John Louis gone back. Also his team manager, Andrew Lim, has headed back to Australia. Jamie Howell and her father, Darren Howell, team manager for athletics, has gone home. So yeah, it's a funny feeling coming towards the end of the games, but I must admit I'm looking forward to getting back to my family. So if you're watching, hi guys. So 2 sports today. We had the cycling and the basketball. So we're cycling. 4 events were completed this morning. The 50-kilometre point race. And Reece had quite a few conversations with the Taiwanese team like he did previously for the 100-kilometre road race. Also collaborated with them, and with today's event in the morning, he got up and looked out the window and it was pouring down with rain. It was very wet. Reece knew what could possibly happen, and with the training back in Melbourne, the weather's always been up and down as well, so he's kind of used to the rainy conditions. Nevertheless, Reece went out there. It was pouring down with rain. I think it was the first time he wore the green trackie jacket around Taiwan, which is kind of unusual because it was a little bit cold today. So the race itself, Reece wasn't able to gain points in the start. So with the point race, how it actually works, for 1 kilometre, every round trip or every second lap, basically whoever's first, second, third, fourth over the line gets points. So you get 5 for the first person, the second person gets 3 points, third person gets 2 points, and the fourth person gets 1. So the points are added up over 50 laps, and it takes about 2.5 hours to do the whole circuit. And often Reece was at the front of the line, and he was getting points, and then other times he was a bit behind, and it meant other guys who got in front of him were gaining points as they went along. So it was a bit of a cat and mouse game, just ensuring that he was getting the points for the effort that he put in. It was kind of really interesting because it was the first time I'd ever seen anything like that before, and I guess when I go back home, when I see proper cycling competition at a professional level, I'll understand it more. But anyway, I'm getting slightly off track. First half, he wasn't doing too well, and then he managed to break away from the group. He was in the lead with 2 or 3 others. Those 2 of the 3 were Japanese, and Reece was by himself. So the Japanese really were trying to prevent Reece from gaining additional points. But unfortunately for Reece, he wasn't able to catch up. And at that time, when Reece was leader of the pack, they already had first and second because they were leading the first half of the race with all the various points that had added up. I think it was Japan and Taiwan who were way ahead with points. And then Reece was in the lead pack second half trying to get third. And the Japanese already gained all those points. We're trying to prevent Reece from getting forward, and you know, they've had medals before, and Reece was kind of trying to slap him around a bit through the race and say, hey, let me move up front. So the communication issues were a bit of a problem, but he managed to come 5th, 1 point away from 4th, and I think probably 7 points away from 3rd, and he left his run a little bit too late. So anyway, he came 5th, and he should be proud of himself. And that was out of 16 riders in the group. So good effort, well done Reece for coming 5th out of 16. And I had a conversation with him afterwards, and he was pretty satisfied with his performance throughout the games, and Reece is naturally hoping that down the track he has a team of Australians with him to be able to strategise against other countries and not just rely on other countries, nations such as Taiwan to support him. So hopefully he'll have a collaborative team down the track. Well done, and we do hope to see you compete at other international competitions, Reece, and please do continue, now that you're a veteran especially. So that's cycling over and done with. Basketball this afternoon. As you know, it was a semi-final against Japan, and we had a few situations where the Japanese prevented us from gaining medals, but the basketballers really wanted to ensure that that wasn't going to happen to them today. With the Japanese play, I think they were probably one of the best shooting teams in the competition, constantly shooting goals, but these guys they're fast, but they are small, but very good and efficient shooters. Small meaning that the Australian team were able to exploit that to our advantage, particularly with Lachlan Jackson, who's the tallest in our team, played a big role in ensuring that we stayed ahead of the Japanese the whole time. The start of the game, the boys were hit by nerves because it was a big game and there was a lot at stake. So Japan worked really hard, we were ahead, and then at one point Japan was ahead, and the guys stayed calm, they didn't panic, and eventually they managed to break away. When we played our game, the passes were working nicely, we managed to gain additional points and move ahead. Japan was pretty persistent, they didn't give up, they weren't too far behind. But I must say the game wasn't over till about 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And it was probably about a 20-point margin. The Australians felt they could probably settle in, be not as stressed, but I guess the final result was 60-43, so 17 points, and that's the closest that any team has been with us in the competition. Previously it's been 20 points behind or whatever, so hats off to the Japanese, they're a very good side. And they'll certainly be a threat in the future to other teams. And because of that win, now we're through to the grand final for the gold medal game. So that's awesome news. It'll be great to finish off the competition on a high if we manage to get through and win that game. That'll be a fantastic way to finish off the Asia Pacific Deaf Games. So our competitors are Chinese Taipei, so the home nation. And their game to qualify for the final went double overtime, and that was against China. And we managed to get a glimpse of that game, and China could have won. It was a very close game, but Chinese Taipei was absolutely determined. They drew, and then they had some overtime, drew again, and then managed to tumble over the line and win that game. So congratulations to Chinese Taipei, and we look forward to competing against them in the match tomorrow for the gold medal. So that's pretty much today's news. And I'll have some video footage of the cycling, which we'll show you. And tomorrow, as you know, one of the main sports will be basketball. And then after that, tomorrow's the 10th, the 11th, we don't have any sports on. And we'll have our official team farewell lunch held on Sunday the 11th. We'll get together, celebrate the achievements, and also announce the closing ceremony flag bearer. So that'll be announced at the lunch, and we'll let you know. So that's it from me. Short and sweet report. I don't know if Mark Quinn will agree because he's tired voicing for me all the time, but it's short and sweet for me. But anyway, see you tomorrow, and hopefully Australia comes home with gold. Cheers, see ya.
Hãy subscribe cho kênh Ghiền Mì Gõ để không bỏ lỡ những video hấp dẫn.